Welcome back to the show with only jokers in the pack.
I stayed up one night playing poker with tarot cards. I got a full house and 4 people died.
At 47, one of America's hardest working stand-ups and possibly the most Jewish comedian on the planet, Jackie Mason.
You never see a Jewish mugger. Did you ever see a Jewish mugger? The guy tells you I mugged somebody, you know it's a Gentile. Because you have to say, give me your money or I'll kill you. A Jew could never say, I'll kill you. A Jew would say, listen, you don't have to give me all your money.
Nobody works harder than me. I work day and night at it. I do shows for nothing in comedy clubs with a tape. I tape it, rewrite it, work on it, polish it, hone it.
In America, there was maybe one Jewish football player in the last 40 years. And as soon as he had the ball, all the Jews got excited. Look how they're chasing him, those Nazi bastards.
Jackie Mason's big break was on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1962. But after a hand gesture to the host, Mason found himself blackballed from TV.
Let me show you my fingers. Listen here.
The show was live, and he was telling me that I have 2 minutes left, and he made finger gestures at me to tell me I have 2 minutes left.
Oh, I should get off. Ed, I want to thank you very much for whatever you did for my career. The best of luck to you. Now I want to show you a finger, and a finger to you, and a finger to him.
He decided that I gave him a filthy, vulgar gesture, and he announced that my contract for the next 8 shows, which I had, was immediately cancelled.
But you can't keep a good stand-up down, and today he's performing a new show every year.
Jackie Mason controls a whole 2 hours, and that's quite something. I mean, he's been over here countless times. That is a wonderful achievement.
I don't mind you ruined your own show. You have to ruin mine, too. Does it hurt you that I got a career? I know.
The truth is, there's nobody ever lived like Jackie Mason. Even Shakespeare was nothing compared to me.
I will say many things in the course of tonight's show that you will not agree with. I will say, for example, people who fly short haul should be ASBO. Arguing that the dissolution of the corporations is the sine qua non of democracy. And that the First World War should be taught in our schools. For the invasion of Iraq, it was.
Recognise this man? He is one of the few remaining British comedians to combine both stand-up with political activism.
Now that he goes everywhere on a bicycle, you know, he'll come up to you and you go, oh, hi Rob, how are things? You still got your car? You know, as if because he's on a fucking bicycle, everyone has to be on a bicycle. Move to China, you fucking cunt.
People are watching this saying, is that Myra Hindley? When did she get out?
You got to dress up as a woman to be funny, that's the time to fucking turn it in.
But Paul O'Grady got big laughs as the acid-tongued scouse drag act Lily Savage.
I buried my grandmother on Friday. Well, I'll tell you, do you know what she died of? Hypothermia. Had nothing to do with the weather, oh no. She's been shoplifting in bee-jams.
I think Lily Savage definitely belongs to the great British music hall tradition.
God, isn't it warm? I'm sweating like a glass below his arse. Don't you think it's hot? This is actually as Andrew Rhodes' outfit. She doesn't know I've got it, but I do a service wash.
Paul O'Grady retired Lily in 2000, and following his recent success as a chat show host, has no plans to bring back the foul-mouthed peroxide blonde.
If your sex life is boring, try using toys. Oh, I can't wait to walk around the house with Cindy hanging out my arse.
In terms of pure Malick energy, Robin Williams is unequalled. He jumps in and out of characters at breakneck speed and is acknowledged as being one of the best improvisers in the business.
Robin Williams' gift was he was faster than anyone. Off the top of his head. Just fast.
Now, there must be some sport where they don't do drugs. I mean, they're not golfers on cocaine sitting at the first tee going, 4, 5, get it out of here! I can't take it! Little golf cart, too slow, I'm running! And you couldn't be paranoid in a sand trap going, I'm never getting out of here alive, man!
Everything I do, I know before I go out. I don't think of anything when I'm out there. But he's like fast, smart, just amazing.
The commentator, he seems to be having problems on the third tee. Why are you talking so low, man? Why are these 300 people walking behind me so slow? Look in the hole. There might be a snake. Look in the hole.
Robin Williams, wonderful. Robbie Williams is the singer. I don't like him.
And this gentleman then would be Michael from St Helens.
Michael from St Helens! All comedians have to start somewhere, and this trainee priest turned potter made his TV debut on a daytime quiz show.
So you also have a bit of a sideline.
Well, I'm trying to break into the world of comedy, Bob.
Oh, no wonder he's so funny! So you don't use your real name?
No, I don't.
Stage name, which is?
Johnny Vegas.
What about that?
Johnny
A few years on, and Johnny is the most famous, beer-swilling, husky-voiced, 18-stone of idiot to ever grace the stage.
You know the song, I Saw Mummy Kissing Santa Claus. I come downstairs and she's straddling him.
To watch one of his shows is a just total emotional journey. To see this act, and it is an act at the end of the day, of a person kind of having a sort of total breakdown and just wanting to be loved and wanting to please the crowd.
Fuck you! This is the life I could have married into.
There's still time.
Keep on, come on! You know, if you love me, have me. But don't just use me to piss your dad off.
With Johnny, you genuinely believe that anything could happen. I mean, I've seen him wrestle people to the ground. You know, he's chased people around the room trying to steal their wallets.
Come on, I'll arm wrestle you for that. I'll arm wrestle you!
Immediately, his attitude is, you must know that if you say something to me, I'm going to climb over these tables and sit in front of you, and it's going to become personal.
Sometimes when you go and see Johnny, you go, oh, I hope he doesn't kill anyone in the crowd.
I hate you. Your mother hates me. Well, I left without saying goodbye.
When you get on the Underground in London, right, when you start your journey, take out your mobile phone, right, and set the alarm on it for 15 minutes later, right? Then a quarter of an hour later, you'll be 700 metres below the surface of the city. And your phone will go off. And everyone else in the tube will go, what? His phone works on the Underground. At which point you go, how are you? How's yourself? No, you're coming through loud and clear. How are things in Tokyo at the moment, right? The entire train will be going, no, there's no bars at all in this thing. How did you get the reception down here? That's ridiculous. At which point, if you're round about the financial district where all the traders are, twist the knife, because you really loudly go, what? It's fallen how far? I'd buy 250,000 of them now, for God's sake. I'd hate to have missed that, just because I was out of the office.
He's probably the best stand-up in Britain at the moment. Who's actually working?
I think Stewart Lee is sublime at the moment.
Stewart Lee is brilliant, full stop.
Stewart Lee began his career as one half of the comedy duo Lee and Herring. More recently, he gained notoriety as the co-writer of Jerry Springer the Opera, but is considered an all-round agent provocateur and one of the most admired stand-ups on the circuit.
It's kind of the same sort of thing as I've always been doing. It's just that in 2000, I'd get reviewed and people would go, here he is again with his long, monotonous sentences, boring. And then suddenly, 4 years later, they're going, hooray, here he is again with his long, monotonous sentences, genius, 5 stars. So I don't know what happened. Walking around there on the 9th of November, 911, and I went into a little Spanish bar. And on television, there was all this film of buildings on fire and things falling down and people running around screaming. And I said to the barman, where's that? In Spanish, ¿Dónde está? And he said, Nueva Eureka. And I thought, oh, it's in Colombia or somewhere, it doesn't matter.
It'll make you think about a whole host of subjects, so you'll go away, it's sort of enlightened as well as amused.
And then I watched for a bit longer Glasgow and I realised that it was New York, where English-speaking people live. And therefore, a terrible, newsworthy tragedy.
The thing about Stewart is you just know that every word that comes out, he's wrestled with, thought about, pondered.
If you were to lock an American for 60 years in an empty underground bunker which contained nothing except a woolly tea cosy, the American would not even be curious enough to be tempted to see if the tea cosy would make a serviceable hat.
So I stayed with some friends last week, and they said, Sean, treat this house like it's your own, so I sold it.
Sean would have been the first alternative Irish comic to make it in England.
I actually went for skills rather than looks at my dog. I actually went for an ex-drug sniffer dog. I tell you, bloody handy at parties. John, have you got any drugs on you? No? My dog says different. Initially, all your kind of source material is your life, initially, and then, you know, you have, well, I went for darker thoughts, and comedy seemed a good way of doing that at the time.
We thought we had a poltergeist in the house, a strange object just to move around. And then we realised this only happened when Dad lost a lot of money on the horses. Oh, fuck, Sean here.
Sean's inimitable style led him to being the youngest ever recipient of the Perrier Award at the Edinburgh Festival in 1990.
Stand-up comedy is the most freest form of, you know, and I hate calling it art, but it is, because you can pretty much say exactly what you want. But I do that thing as well, and we all do. When you're drunk, I dance with my pets. And you think it's a great old laugh. And your dog's there kind of going, these aren't hands, Sean. These are legs. I'm a four-legged creature. This is not normal for me. And you see their sad little faces as they're trying to dance backwards, like...
Women comics are the worst. You know, they're certainly not funny. All they're talking about is fucking tampax, tits, and arses.
The stuff that comes out of my vagina. Pineapple chunks, slice of banana, couple of sponge fingers, and a walking trifle.
Who wants to know about that? You never hear me tell a story about that.
Maybe not, Bernard, but Jenny Eclair has made a name for herself by being the most filthy and foul-mouthed female comedian on our list.
The stand-up persona became very, very, not animal, but very tough, because I had to be, because I was terrified and they were flaming bear pits.
I do not see why I should go down on him. He never goes down on me. Possibly because I wipe my bottom this way. That's the way to do it. This way. He goes down on me, comes up looking like a 6-year-old eating chocolate ice cream.
I'm an odd mix of huge ego and odd inferiority complex.
It's kind of an amazing experience to sort of see her because she talks so fast and ideas come kind of, you know, they batter you.
But I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. When men say that women shouldn't drink. Fuck off. We didn't get pissed, most of you would never get a shag.
Andrew Dice Clay's stand-up, to me, represents a lot of what can go wrong with comedy.
Georgie Porgy Pudding and Pie jerked off in his girlfriend's eye. When her eye was dry and shut, Georgie fucked that one-eyed slut. Oh!
It was witless. It was full of this testosterone-charged egotism.
I'm all about pussy, I'll tell you that much. I live it, I dream it, I fuck it.
I saw a concert of his in Madison Square Garden. I don't know, 20,000 people there, and all falling around the place laughing. And you're thinking, what are you people laughing at?
For several years in the 80s and 90s, the Dice Man was one of the most shocking and popular stand-ups in America. He was the antidote to political correctness, and his unashamed racist, sexist and homophobic material went down a storm as he played to tens of thousands of fans in some of the biggest venues in America. Ironic or plain nasty, his fellow comedians are equally divided.
It's not politically correct, but I don't care. I think it's hilarious.
I was out with this dish rag whore a couple weeks ago, right? Nice girl, Sunday school teacher. So I'm coming in my apartment. I'm not even in the front door, and my dog is humping a leg, and he's got his face in a snatch. So I'm looking at him like, you prick cocksucker. Who's the one that had I wine and dine this fucking dunce? I'm not even in the front door and you're eating the bitch.
I don't think it has some double meaning, like that it's making a comment on what you shouldn't be talking about. I think it's directly, that's what he's saying and that's how it is. And I love that filthy stuff that he does. I think it's hilarious.
Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet.
Claire's take on some well-known nursery rhymes took stand-up to an offensive new level.
Okay, Miss Spidey sat down beside he said, hey, what's in the bowl, bitch? Oh!
So this is one of Andrew Dice Clay's bits. A hickory dickory dock, some chick was sucking my cock. The clock struck 2, I shot my goo and dumped the bitch on the next block.
Hey, diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. That's more than my lazy wife does, that fat fucking smelly baboon. Bada bing!
You're shit!
Stay with us for more groundbreaking comedy after the break.